Hi, this is Angela McFarlane and you're Stampin' with AMAC. Today I'm going to show you how to make this shaker card. However, this was my prototype and we will be using different sprinkles for this card. So you will find in your pack your base card, which is your half piece of A4, and we will just fold that in half. And then we have our next layer, which is our Blackberry Bliss, and that is cut half a centimetre shorter on both sides. So we'll just attach that to the front of our card. I like to use Tombow because it just gives me a little bit of wiggle room to get it lined up nicely, and I never go too close to the edges with my glue. Then our next layer is the Designer Series paper. You can choose the other side if you want to. Your ice creams will be cut facing the other way, but I prefer the sprinkles on this one, so I'll just attach that the same way, just with a little bit of liquid glue or Tombow. And with the glue, less is always more, I find. So line that up. And then you will have a smaller white piece, which is the bit underneath the clear acetate there. I've stamped that using Blackberry Bliss ink and the Sweet Ice Cream bundle. The stamp set out of there, the happy birthday, but you can substitute with whatever you like, and if you want to, you can even stamp a few other little bits around it to fill it in a little bit. So then I'll attach that. I'll attach that to the center of my card. This is the same size as your frame, so I'll just center that, and I'll be able to line the frame up over the top of that when I go to attach that. Okay, so then I'll set that aside, and the next thing I'll do is take my acetate, and it will be just a little bit smaller than your frame is. I don't know if you can really see that or not, but what I do with that is I'll pop it on this surface so I can see the edges. I'll just get a little bit of Tombow. Once again, I'll just go really thin, a bit of Tombow just along the edges. And then I will stick the frame, I'll stick that to the frame. I have the underneath of the frame shining through, or facing up rather, and then I'll just attach that to the frame. It's probably a good idea to let that set for a while and just let that dry. So do set that aside and let that dry, but for the purpose of the video, I will keep going. So then you want to get your ruler out and measure this, because you need to cut your adhesive strips to be the right width. So this is actually 11 centimeters. So I will get my ruler and measure 11 centimeters. And I don't use my good scissors for this, so I'll cut 2 bits because I've got 2 lengths that are 11. Now I'll just peel these foam strips up, and that backing was not meant to come off just then, so I will just attach it to the top, and I cut that a little bit too long. That's okay, I can snip that off. So I want that stuck down really well. And then I'll repeat the process with the other strip. So I don't go right to the end of my frame, I just fall a little bit short of my frame because you don't want that poking out at all. But what we do need to create is a really good seal along here. Now I have a few smaller bits on here. I've provided a sheet of the adhesive strips for you to make your life easier. Now I'll just attach one there. You can sort of sit it in place and trim it. But you do want a really snug fit because you don't want your sequins falling out anywhere. And I'll do the same on the other side. If you do cut smaller pieces, you can actually join this together, but the main thing is that you don't have any gaps. Because your sequins will fall out. Okay, so now that we have that sorted out, that will create our little lifted up window frame there. And then with the sequins that I have provided for you, I just sit them in the middle of the stamped image, and then I'll peel up the rest of the edges. And actually, before you peel up the rest of the edges, if you want to, you can just sort of touch these pieces, the side pieces, a little bit, just to take a little bit of the stickiness away from them, and it should be okay. So then you can line this up and stick that over the top, and there you have your shaker card. And then to finish it off, just provided a little cone, a little ice cream cone, and I'll glue that on flat, but I'm just sort of seeing where it's going to go, so I'm not going to put glue on the bit that's going to be hanging over the edge. So I want to sit that about there, like so. And I don't want it to cover my happy birthday either. And then for the ice cream top, you can pop a few dimensionals on there, and that'll just give it a little bit of extra lift. And then you stick your ice cream on there and you have completed your card. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned for the next one.